Hello and good morning from the DRC, or the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We are now on our third country here in Africa. So we started from Ghana, then made a quick stop at Ethiopia, and now we're here staying at the DRC. Many people refer to the name of this country as just DRC for short because you don't say every day Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's very long. And also to say that there's another country in Africa with the name Congo in it. That's the Republic of Congo, which is adjacent to this bigger Democratic Republic of the Congo. So to avoid confusion, most people just say DRC. Okay, so where is the DRC? DRC is located in Central Africa. It is bordered by a lot of many other African countries. So to the east you have Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda. To the north you have South Sudan, Central African Republic. To the west you have the Republic of Congo. And to the south, you have Angola and Zambia. So you see how huge this country is. DRC is actually the second biggest country in Africa, I guess after Algeria, Algeria being the biggest. So, and what's nice about DRC is when you look at it on the Google, when you look at it on Google Earth, you'll see that it is really surrounded by vast greens. You see all these untouched jungles, forest. It's probably it's probably one of the places in the world that has uh, that still has those primary forests intact. Okay, so this video is about my first impressions of the DRC. So I've managed to collect a few clips from the road, so I will share those with you in this video. And but yeah, overall, well, just to summarize, I would say that I enjoyed this country a lot. People here are nice. I don't really like comparing, but I would say that compared to other parts of Africa where I've been, people here smile more often, they laugh, and as a Filipino who grew up smiling a lot and laughing a lot and having good sense of humor, I find that really nice because when I see people smiling around me or laughing around me, joking around, I feel really comfortable around them. So that's a good thing. And one of the things that probably I should tell you is that here the language, the lingua franca or the language of commerce is French. There are a lot of languages in the DRC because you have probably hundreds of tribes as the country is really big, but the language that unites them all is French. So if one tribe wants to speak with the other, they speak in French. And you'll be surprised to know that probably just about 5% of the people here speak English. So if you don't know how to speak French, you will really have a hard time, especially when you are buying stuff from the supermarket, because people there practically won't know an English word. Even the English word for how much, they don't know that. And the prices of food, you need to say those in French as well. If you want to say, if you are buying from the supermarket, like cooked food, because these days I buy a lot of cooked food from the supermarkets here. You ask, c'est combien? How much is this? And then you tell them when they ask you how many grams of this particular food you like, you tell them in French as well, because if you tell them in English, they won't understand. So, for example, if you want 300 grams, you say 300 grammes, 300, 300 grams. That's 300 grams. Or 200 grams for 200 grams. Or 500 grams for 500 grams. Another thing is that they have a little bit different accent, French accent here. So if you are used to the French accent in France, if you studied French in France, you will notice that some of the accents here are different. So you need to make note of that, because sometimes when I use my very basic French, and I use the French accent, um, sometimes they don't understand because they have their own French accent here. So that's one thing that you need to take note of. Alright, so let me show you the first video that I've got. So this is the area around the airport. You see there's a lot of grass, and you have some mountains in the background as well. You see this looks like your typical African savanna that you see in the movies, except that you don't have the African wild animals here, but we'll get to the animals on the next videos. Then here's a typical scene on the city center, the typical traffic. Thankfully, traffic is not very bad here. There are a lot of cars, but not enough to clog the roads, so that's a good thing. And you also have some developed areas where they sell Western or imported furnitures, and they also have some uh, fast food joints here. I haven't seen the big ones. I mean, those from the West, but that's okay. They have their own fast food joints here. You have the Chicken Inn, the Pizza Inn, where we used to buy pizza, and Creamy Inn, where you can have ice cream as well. In terms of food prices here, I would say that thankfully it's not as expensive as Ghana. I would say it's probably 20 to 30% less expensive. And interestingly, they also accept US dollars here. So if you come to Congo with some US dollars, you don't need to go to a money exchange counter to exchange your money to Congolese francs, because they will accept US dollars here in most establishments like supermarkets, restaurants. I haven't really tried using US dollar in the streets to buy vegetables or fruits, but I think they will accept as long as the bills are small, you know. So it's widely used here, so you won't have any problem if you only have US dollars. Sometimes you will pay them in US dollars, and they will give the change to you in Congolese francs. They don't charge any conversion rate, so the existing market rate is what they will give you. Okay, and then yeah, sometimes I buy cooked food here. There isn't really a lot of vegetarian options, but you can still get by. You have those beans, and what's nice about the DRC is that they also like coconut milk here, and they use that in their vegetables, their leafy vegetables as well. So I buy a lot, like matambele. This is the vegetable which I really buy a lot here. It's like lime, actually. Tastes like lime. Just a little less, probably less creamy than lime, but yeah, the taste is not too far from lime. Yeah, so I stay in a city called Lubumbashi. It's the second biggest city here in the DRC, and it's located in the southern part of the DRC. Most people, when they think about Africa, they think about the desert. They think about how hot the place is. But most people don't realize that Africa actually, many cities in Africa are actually located in plateaus. So many of them are located above 1,500 meters. I mean, 1,500 meters above sea level. So the weather is really beautiful.
Okay,
It's
but the
wonderful.
problem is it might
Here in
slow
Lubumbashi, the weather is like
down.
Baguio. So the
Not
temperature
really
ranges
sure.
between 12 to 22 degrees. So I don't really need AC when I sleep here. Um, I even have a thick blanket because it can really get cold in the morning and at night as well. The apartment where I stay has its own pool. It also has a jacuzzi, gym, and um, two saunas. So when I have time, I go to these places. But I've tried swimming a couple of times. It's really cold at night, but after you have dipped in the water, your body will adjust eventually and you won't feel cold anymore. But the moment you step out of the water, then you will really feel cold. So I go to the sauna right away. Yeah. But yeah, generally the weather here is nice. It can get hot too at some times of the day, like midday for example, when the sun is really, really high up. And when there are no clouds, it can get really hot as well. But it will just be for a short time because as soon as you get around 4 p.m., 5 p.m., you will feel comfortable again. And these past days, it's been raining a lot, so it's generally cold the whole day. Okay. Um, yeah. So as I was saying, French is spoken a lot here, and it will definitely help you if you know basic French. Um, Say, for example, you want to buy something or you want to make some little chats with the people here. You say, Je parle français. I speak French. But you can say, Je parle français, mais un peu. I speak French, but a little. Then you say your name. Je m'appelle Ali. My name is Harley. Or you can also say, Je suis Ali. Or I am Harley. And yeah, so those kind of things. Then when you buy stuff, you say combien, how much, or yeah. So it will definitely help if you try to learn a bit of French. If you are here, you can always look at some French videos, French lesson videos on YouTube. There are a lot. I follow this one French lessons with Alexa. She's really nice. I mean, she is a good teacher, and her videos are of course free. You just watch. She was able to to set the lessons step by step from the basics to the um, to a little more advanced lessons. So you might be interested to know that the DRC is also probably the biggest French-speaking nation in the world, and it's not France. It's the DRC because the DRC land area is so much bigger than France. Yeah. Um, yeah, as I was saying, DRC is the second biggest country in Africa after Algeria. And the population of DRC, I'm not sure, probably is now probably more than France. So, yeah, when people hear the lingua franca here is French. So, There are a lot of tribes here, probably hundreds of tribes, and their mode of communication with each other is French, not English. Yeah. Um, yeah, so overall, I would say that I am really enjoying my stay here. Many of you probably know Congo as one of the poorest countries, not only in Africa, but in the entire world. Well, when I came here, I didn't really feel that much. Well, because for me, poverty is subjective and depends on how you view people to be poor or not. Because in our modern world, unfortunately, poverty is measured by the amount of income that a person or a family gets in a day, and then their purchasing power. That is how that is how poverty is measured these days. And for me, that's really, I would say, crappy because some people like to live their lives differently. Not everyone would like to live an extravagant life or a Western kind of life or a life that is surrounded by properties, by cars, by big houses. Not every people in the world uh, aims for that. Some people like to keep their lives simple. They're contented with what they have. They don't need a lot of money. They just need enough for them to survive from day to day. And you see those small villages, um, small tribes where they don't really need money at all in one day. They can survive on their own. They live a sustainable life. They have their own farms, their own ways of entertaining themselves, their dances, their singing, their music. For me, that is not poor at all, you know. So if when people say that a group of people is poor just because they are not educated, they are not educated on the tertiary level, they don't have diplomas just because they don't have savings in the bank, they're poor. For me, that is not how it should be. It should be. I know. I mean, that is not how we should think. For me, it's better to measure people's status by their happiness, by their contentment, because some people, I know a lot of people who are rich and they have a lot of money, yet they are not happy, you know. While there are these people who many call to be poor, but at the end of the day, they're happier and they're more contented with their lives, and they have better memories. They have happier memories. So yeah, um, yeah, probably in terms of income, the country is poor, but in terms of happiness, I don't think people here are very unhappy because they don't have a lot of money. You know. Okay. Um. Yeah. You see, this is a usual market scene here. You have the potatoes, fresh potatoes, tomatoes from the farm. None of these, I'm sure, are none of these, I'm sure, is genetically modified. They're all fresh, so you can be sure that you get all the important vitamins and minerals from these vegetables and fruits. And I love their dresses here, especially the women. They're so colorful, and the dresses really highlight their beauty a lot. They also have beautiful headdresses here. The African headdresses for women. They're really wonderful. They're really colorful and really very attractive. So here you see we were trying to um, buy some potatoes, watermelon, and pineapple in the market. The pineapples here also taste good, but I would say that the ones in Ghana taste better. But the pineapples here are bigger than the ones in Ghana. Okay, so I think that's all the videos that I can share. I'm just gonna keep this video short. If you have other questions about the DRC, just uh, just feel free to comment down, and I will try to respond as soon as I can. I've managed to make friends with some locals here, especially my workmates who are Congolese. So if you have questions, I can ask them and reply to you as soon as I can. Um, that's all for now, and my next video will be my experience flying on a four-seater plane. I'm sure you'll find that really interesting, and I might also be able to show you a few of the African animals that can be found here in the southern part of the DRC. Okay, that's all for now, and see you on the next one. Bye.